Boys to Men is the final hashtag. Put that in the banner at the bottom. It relates to our movie of the week. And our new trilogy is from C. Bizzle. We're doing Michael Schultz in our final season of directors trilogy. And the first one is COOLEY High. Came out in 1964. Came out in 1975. Apologies. In 1964, on Chicago's near north side, the lives of four carefree high school seniors and best friends, including an aspiring playwright and an all-city basketball champion, takes a tragic turn. All right, let's talk about it.
So, once again, this is in in Chicago, back in the '60s, mid '60s. So you hear a lot of the lingo that goes on, the language. Also, real quick, the director Michael Schultz, he done some amazing films that really I feel he's an underrated director. Some of the films I didn't pick, the Car Wash back in 1976.
Car Wash. Yeah.
Crush Groove was a breakdance.
Ooh, Crush Groove was classic.
Yes. Yeah. He did a comedy with Richard Pryor called Greased Lightning. So he done Michael Schultz done a lot of good stuff.
He also directed 4 episodes of Black Lightning, the TV series.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He also directed 6 episodes of Blackish, 8 episodes of Arrow, 3 episodes of New Girl on Fox. Did not see that coming.
I didn't either. And he did if y'all remember, it's this film called Women Thou Art Loose with he directed that film as well. So he done a lot of good stuff as far as film. And I really enjoyed this film a lot, listening to the lingo. A lot of stuff that they did would not fly at all. In this day and age. Seeing old
didn't really
old
fly
school,
back then.
Really, yeah. But you know what it is? Like, I don't want to jump all the way to the end. But how they got released from the police? Like, hey man, your teacher talks to a police officer and say, hey, they're good kids. Just let them off for a joyride. ride. Blah, 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 blah. He's all right, those two can go. Like, you will not get that in this day and age.
Nah.
No.
I don't know.
Unless you're in a small rural town.
Probably not a major city. I'll give you. But then again, I got the feeling, and I mean, I don't know because they don't really explain it in the movie. I got the feeling that cop and the teacher knew each other and had known each other for a while. Yeah. So
they definitely knew.
Do me a
no, that is
that's
a factor. So. So
I think you can make it happen if they don't have like a criminal record, like a whole list of priors that
like they stole a car. It's not like it's a murder.
Yeah.
So C-Bizzle, in that era of Chicago and that neighborhood, the cops were not rotated, right? So you knew your local cops always.
Yeah.
Right? And that, I'm sure, played into the teacher's reputation, the teacher having known the cop. Like, I almost found it unbelievable, but also looking at what the time frame was and what what the spirit of the neighborhoods were like.
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
Oh yeah.
They knew each other well enough to smoke with each other.
I knew for that reason, yes, for the time period. I'm saying that can't happen now. In a major city.
Now, no, it just can't.
Yeah, like New York, Detroit, Dallas. No, that's not happening.
The way he got out of the classroom with his bloody nose.
There's that, but like, why is this called COOLEY High? Because there's all of about 2 minutes where they're actually in school in the entire movie.
Yeah. It's just based upon that's the actual school in Chicago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then, matter of fact, there's a COOLEY High in Detroit too. A couple of good NBA players came from there.
We get a couple actors that we know pretty well, like Garrett Morris. It was good to see Garrett Morris. Preach, which Glenn Turman from
And he looks
Different World,
exactly
and the other guy
the same.
was from A Different World too. The
Stephen
pimp.
Williams.
Yeah,
Yep.
is that it? The pimp.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was his first film.
Yeah.
I know him from he was in a Jason movie, and he also was in 21 Jump Street, the original.
Right on. So here's my. This wasn't a full-on green shirt guy moment, but when
green shirt guy moment coming.
when that guy takes all of his money out and puts it in that envelope, I'm like, come on, like nobody's.
Yeah, that's a little. Like,
Hey.
I'm like, people
man.
are dumb, but like I don't even know that people are that stupid.
Back in that day, you know,
Maybe.
you about to get something.
I know. I
Your
get
mind is
that.
not straight.
I get being distracted. I can't fathom emptying your wallet to a guy you don't know.
Right.
I'll watch your car for you. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So
yeah, that was pretty good.
So what's funny about the use of the name? So he wanted something directly from his anchored in his life, and he went to the Cooley Vocational School, right?
Yep.
And so he and who's the other filmmaker with this?
You talking about the writer?
Eric Monte and
Eric Monte and Michael Schultz.
Right.
Yeah.
Monte and Schultz wanted to maintain authenticity, and then they felt that the idea of the school represented the dreams and the challenges of inner city youth, and like that was why they chose Cooley High, even though it's like it's more than just a location that shows up in like 2 scenes, like. Yeah. But it's about like keeping it grounded in this reality that they were really focused on representing as accurately as possible.
I mean, you believe Garrett Morris every time.
Yes.
And that fully comes through. I just don't know. For me, with this story, there, I feel like there should have been a few more scenes to really hammer that home. It just seemed like what's thrown at the end, so you know where we're going. Because this movie I liked it, but it was very disjointed. The story kind of bounced around and then hit its stride at the end.
You know what's kind of cute about that is high school is disjointed.
Yeah, I mean,
and it is very disjointed. I can give you a first-hand experience.
Yes, I feel like they made art. I feel like genuinely made serious artistic choices together. Because everything that I have looked up on this movie reflects that it was all about conversations about how to film, what we're writing, how to do a rewrite. Yeah, you know, like it was just like how to make use of time. You know, like we get to film here, but we can only film here like 2 hours on a Sunday.
This is one of those movies that made me think, and I keep thinking about it, that we could make a movie. Because
we could.
There's nothing, you know, that they didn't use or that have that we couldn't do as well, and that's what I liked about it. I was like, they don't have no big budget, they don't have no big sets. It's basically story and people and just getting it all together, and I like that aspect of it.
So two things. One, the budget was like around $750,000, and it made it made like around $13 million.
It was like a box.
$750 back then, though. Yeah. That was an investment.
Yeah.
Yes. And another thing, we're not gonna walk past the zoo scene with the gorilla.
With the gorilla,
had me laugh.
Got the doo doo.
I'm gonna tell you, no one's gonna know that you got hit with gorilla shit was the whole movie.
Like they gonna know this. Like
what he said? What did he say? I gotta go in and take a shower.
Yeah,
and I was like, but it's not you, it's the shirt, bro. Like, you don't rock the shirt. And I felt like he had another white tee under there. Like,
that's soaked through.
Take that shirt off, bro.
Yeah, both shirts got soaked through with that monkey dung.
Yeah. The scene, like when they got the girls in the hallway. And
how aggressive was that?
It's mad aggressive.
He was aggressive.
Breach was an aggressive young man. Every once in a while I kept telling him, like, bro, slow down.
Right.
Like
she's clearly not enjoying any of this.
Yeah.
At all.
Can we also talk about how this is 1975 when this came out? This is not a PG movie.
No.
That
it's
sexy
definitely not.
alone makes it not a PG movie.
Yeah.
That was like the one like art part of the movie. I was like, okay, they trying to get a little artsy with this and throw that in there.
And then he got a little trophy because he tells her that it was a bet right after.
Oh, right when he said that, I was
stupid.
like, what the hell is wrong?
I was like,
you gotta get that in, but like there's an easier way to put that in the script.
Yeah. I can't wait to tell Coachy he owes me some money.
Right? Jeez.
Yeah, that was wild.
It would make more sense
when
if he was saying it to like one of his sisters or something like that while she was in the bathroom like getting dressed. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't supposed to hear, rather than him just saying it to her. Like, who's that stupid?
The death of Coach. Oh my god,
man, that
had me. I paused the movie for a second.
Yeah,
and I was like, I was like, did he just die?
I didn't pause it. I was like, wait a minute.
That was a whack, like on the head.
Yeah,
like, that was
like, what? That was deep right there.
Yeah,
but it was a little like when his hand moved a little bit. If you noticed it, like it looked like he was alive. That's why I was like, wait, his hand just moved. But I guess it was it wasn't.
We call that a death twitch.
Yeah,
And by the way, sad enough, in real life, totally plausible.
Yes.
Right. And when he's screaming for like trying to scream for help, I'm sorry, Green Sugar. When he's screaming, and then you can't hear his voice over the train.
The L train, yeah.
That was deep too. That was deep.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say those guys clearly knew something had gone too far because they got out of there in a hurry.
Yeah.
So like, they
didn't mean to kill him.
But then
they didn't mean to kill him. They mean to just rough him up, but they went too far.
Yeah.
And the guy who kills him gets like away with it. Like that's the.
Yeah.
Yes. The scene with Martha, I love Martha. Okay.
Yeah.
I love chasing Preacher around with the meat cleaver.
Oh my god!
Because he kept gambling in her establishment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
But was it? Remember when he went into the bathroom trying to get away from the dudes and the girls in the toilet? I'm like, what are you doing, my guy?
She's like, get out of here! He's like, I'm trying to.
That was funny. But when he died, then like the next scene is funeral. Boom, and I was like.
And you don't go to your best friend's funeral?
Yeah.
I'm like, screw this guy. That's why I didn't feel bad for him at the end.
No, listen.
No,
everyone's different. How can you represent other people's emotions? I know lots of people where the pain is too much for them to show up. I know lots of people that happens to. Grief is so overtaking. It does all sorts of crazy shit to you.
I agree.
The first is ridiculous amounts of guilt, even when
that's what he was feeling.
Yeah. Like, so he was consumed by what grief was doing to him.
Because if you look at it, a few scenes before, the guilt hit him hard because the way last time they talked was out of anger because he was sleeping with his girl.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna do quotation marks because his girl one day and his girl not. But he felt betrayed by him, and he probably felt that if I was with him, we probably just got beaten up and we would have just went about our way. Mm. But now that he's dead,
I get that,
guilt.
And you get that I get that. I'm not doubting that. And clearly he's upset because he was still mad at him, and he felt that Cochise was still mad with him. But even though they were angry at each other, he was still going to defend his friend. Yeah, and then he was too late to get. I buy.
It's too late because he wasn't.
I just personally don't buy not going to your best friend's funeral. I don't buy it. And maybe that's just me. I just don't buy it.
I don't know how to take the ending of him saying goodbye, and then he just runs, and then he's just running, and smiling and laughing, and I'm like. Ooh,
again, I guess since I'm the one with all the grief counseling. So Like, so grief is a roller coaster. We're seeing a montage of their friendship, and that is what's happening in that moment, right? Your brain often does the highlight reel, right? And that was what was happening. He was having a highlight reel moment, and we were watching that. And of course, the movie's trying to demonstrate it for us by doing the clips and everything as he's running with joy to go pursue his dream that his friend always wanted him to pursue, you know? Yeah. But again, like I was telling somebody the other day that I've experienced so much grief. Like I can just check the boxes of everything everything that I'm going through, whether it's guilt, whether it's the highlight reel, whether I'm angry, which by the way, only last year was I ever angry at someone I knew who died. And that was all new for me. And I had to go to a freaking, I had to go to a grief counseling group because I didn't know how to deal with it, you know? But, you know, anyhow, this movie, and of course, when I watched this and I was just a kid, maybe I was 16, 17, you know, because my brother had all these movies. He had you know what, as we all know how I feel about my brother, but I wouldn't know any of these films without him. I would never have listened to Miles Davis Meets the Loneliest Monk if it weren't for him. So anyhow, this movie's great. This movie is in the American Film Institute, and with good reason.
All right, let's get some numbers on this. We'll start off with you, Cliff.
9.
Ooh.
Look, this movie and again, I am feeling a certain kind of way this week, but this movie captured my feelings on friendship and grief and complexity and certainly after I saw that other movie in the theater, because that was traumatic. So this was something else. This was also a lot of I cried a lot this week. There was a lot of crying. But yeah, no, I think with everything they had at their disposal, they told a great film. They told a great story and made a great film. And the themes of the film transcend its time frame, right? And
yeah,
that's it. I'm going high.
Phil, what do you got, Phil?
Not as high as Cliff, but higher than the IMDb rating. I am giving this a 7.5. I enjoyed it. It was good, and it's a good movie. And yeah, 7.5.
All right, green shirt guy.
All right, so you all are gonna hate me, but the parts of this movie that I liked, but the parts I didn't like when it was disjointed and the ending just didn't do it for me, dragged it down for me. But like I said, there were parts of it I liked. I thought the fight at the party was hilarious. I was laughing my balls off, especially when Peach goes through the door and he just winks at that girl.
And he's like actually like got like a chance to get her when he's talking about poetry. He's not like being as aggressive. It's like this is the thing I'm actually into. Like
I also thought it was funny that Tyrone gets punched by the dude. And then the girl says something like, "Who you think you're punching?" And then she punches him.
Dorothy,
that made me laugh. I thought that was really funny. So the parts, like I said, the parts I liked, I thought were really good. The parts I didn't like just didn't land for me. So I'm actually going to go slightly lower than IMDb. I'm going to go 6.5.
Okay, I am gonna go an 8. I everything Cliff said is great. I'm on green shirt guy's side a little bit disjointed in certain parts. That's why I gave it an 8. But overall, the themes, everything, that's high school. That's, inner city high school most of all. Like Cliff, we grew up in Newburgh and going to high school, and it's almost spot on. You know what I mean? It's almost spot on. Close. Yeah, so that's what I liked about it as well. So I'm going to give it an 8. See, Bizzle?
Yes, I enjoyed this movie immensely. I really enjoyed Michael Schultz' directing style. I know this has a little jumping off, this, like you said, disjointed moments. But like what y'all said earlier, that's how high school is. That's how my high school was. One minute I'm doing this, boom, next minute I'm doing that. One thing I really love about this movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack had nothing but great Motown music in it.
I'll give you that. There were bangers.
I love the soundtrack. It opened up with the Supremes.
Temptations.
The Temptations was in it. I really enjoyed this film. Quick thing for everybody. I'm gonna give you a quick epilogue about what happened to everybody. Just real quick. Preach moved to Hollywood and graduated and became a successful screenwriter. Stone and Robert, the two guys that were involved in the car. Yeah, they were killed in a gas station holdup. Brenda, the girl that Preach slept with, became
Cynthia
a librarian.
Davis.
Yep. Became a librarian in Atlanta, got married, had 3 kids. Pooter, factory worker in Indiana. Tyrone
Best
was
name
killed.
of the whole movie.
Pooter, yep.
Tyrone got killed in the 1986 Democratic National Convention in Chicago during the outbreak of racial violence.
Chicago
So that's
stuff.
Yeah. So it was a lot of good epilogue.
And wait, the guy who actually killed Cochise, he gets he's in like the army, right?
Yeah, he goes to
became
become
the army.
military. Yeah.
Like that kind of like that made me like a little bit like upset too. Like I was just like,
that he was still able to.
Yeah,
do
he's still
something
like
like
he was
that.
the actual like killer there. And,
Yeah.
So that ending kind of felt like I don't know, like all right, so let's roll a dice and see what happens to these people.
Yeah. So I enjoy everything about this film. I will watch it again. I could watch it. I could literally watch this on a weekly basis. I'm with you with Cliff. I'm giving this a 9.
9, which gives it an overall 8, and that's one above the IMDb score.
Yes, sir.
So that's very, very good. Very, very good. If you guys haven't watched it out there, go out and check it out. Next Sunday, part 2 of the Michael Schultz trilogy.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Okay. After this movie, we needed a break, and this one is a break compared to
my favorite movie.
Where are the heroes?